Hello my dear learner, welcome to another mathematics lesson. The topic which we have been discussing is integration, and today we are going to look at the subtopic, the last subtopic of this topic, application in kinematics. Application of integration in kinematics. When we say kinematics, we are talking of how we are going to apply the concept of integration in calculation of velocity and acceleration. Remember, in the topic differentiation, we also learned applications of differentiation in calculation of velocity and acceleration. So this is similar to that. We are dealing now with, we are going to learn applications of the concept of integration in calculation of velocity and acceleration. If you remember, in the topic differentiation, my dear learner, we said that when we differentiate the derivative of displacement with respect to time gives velocity. That is what we say. And the derivative of velocity with respect to time gives acceleration. And remember the concept of integration. In the first lesson, when we started to discuss integration, we said integration is the reverse of differentiation. Integration is the reverse of differentiation. Therefore, we just do the reverse of that. If you differentiate displacement to get velocity, then you will integrate velocity to get displacement. And if you differentiate velocity to get acceleration, then it means you will integrate acceleration to get velocity. That is what the basic concept is under this. So you may say integration of velocity with respect to time gives displacement. Remember, in differentiation, derivative of displacement with respect to time gives velocity. So now it is the reverse. And integration of acceleration with respect to time gives velocity. This again, like I said, is the reverse of differentiation, where we differentiate the velocity with respect to time to get acceleration. You can use symbols to get displacement. S, remember the symbol for displacement is S, the symbol for velocity is V, the symbol for acceleration is A. So to get S, we integrate V with respect to time. To get V, we integrate acceleration with respect to time. Basically, this is the concept which you should know. To get displacement, we integrate velocity, the expression for velocity with respect to time. And to get velocity, we integrate the expression for acceleration with respect to time. Basically, that is the concept which we are going to discuss today. Let's look at some examples, my dear Anna. We are going to look at two examples. Examples. Number one, a particle moves moves in a straight line, moves in a straight line through a fixed point O, with velocity (4 minus t meter per second). 4 minus t meters per second. Find an expression for its displacement. Find an expression for its displacement s from this point given that s is equal to 4 when t is equal to 0. So that is the question, my dear learner. We are told that a particle moves in a straight line through a fixed point O with velocity 4 minus t meters per second. Find an expression for its displacement s from this point, that point O, given that s is equal to 4 when t is equal to 0. Let's deal with that. We have been given the expression for velocity, my dear learner. V is equal to 4 minus t. That is the expression for velocity, V. If the expression for velocity is given, and we want the expression for displacement, what do we do, my dear learner? We just discussed that. If you already have expression for velocity, and you are looking for displacement, you integrate the expression for velocity to get displacement. In the topic of differentiation, V is ds dt. That is, you differentiate s with respect to t to get velocity. Now it is the reverse. To get s, we have to integrate velocity. So let us integrate. We integrate 4 minus t with respect to t, which gives us s is equal to, if you integrate 4, my dear learner, you get 4t. If you integrate t, you will get t squared over 2 plus c. Don't forget that for integration, at the end, you add a constant. Let's continue, because this constant must be found. How can we get that constant? Because that expression we are supposed to give the expression of s in terms of t only, So this constant must be found. We can get this constant using this information which is given here. S is equal to 4 when t is equal to 0. So you just come to this expression here, replace s with 4 and t with 0. If you replace s with 4, we will have 4 equals 4 times t, that is t is 0. So 4 times 0 minus t is 0, 0 squared over 2 plus c. So that is, the whole of this is 0, 4 times 0 is 0, and this is also 0, so you remain with only c. So therefore, c is 4. The value of this constant c is 4. Therefore, the expression for s becomes s is equal to 4t minus t squared over 2 plus 4. So that is the expression for s, and that is what the question was asking. Find an expression for its displacement s. This is the expression for its displacement s. S is equal to 4t minus t squared over 2 plus 4. Let's look at another example, my dear learner. Example 2. A ball is thrown upwards with a velocity of 40 meters per second. Question A. Determine the expression in terms of t for its velocity. For 1, its velocity. 2, its height above the point of projection. B. Find the velocity and height after 2 seconds. And finally C. Find the maximum height attained. By the ball and you are told take acceleration due to gravity to be 10 meters per second square. 10 meters per second square. So that is the question, my dear learner. Let's look at that question. We are told that a ball is thrown upwards with a velocity of 40 meters per second. So this ball is thrown upwards with a starting velocity of 40 meters per second. That is the starting velocity, or we call it the initial velocity of 40 meters per second. Determine the expression in terms of t for its velocity and the expression for its height above the point of projection. How do we get the expression for velocity? How do we get the expression for height? Remember, height is distance or displacement. How do we start, my dear learner? We have not been given expression for velocity. We have not been given expression for acceleration. We have not been given the expression for displacement. So where do we start from, my dear learner? Where do we start from? If we have the expression for acceleration, we integrate acceleration to get the expression for velocity. So what is the acceleration? That is the starting point. What is the acceleration? For a body which is thrown upwards, acceleration is a constant. You should know that. any body which is thrown upwards or a body which is falling freely, its acceleration is a constant. It is a constant. And that constant is the one which is given here. Take acceleration due to gravity to be 10. So that is the starting point, my dear. Any body or any object which falls freely, its acceleration is 10 meters per second. It accelerates downwards with this acceleration 10 meters per second squared. A body which is moving upwards, does it accelerate? It decelerates. It decelerates at 10 meters per second squared. If a body is moving upwards, remember its velocity keeps on decreasing because of gravity. This acceleration is due to gravity. So this is the starting point. In our case, the ball is not falling freely. It is moving upwards. Therefore, if the deceleration is 10, then we take that acceleration to be negative 10. Remember, deceleration is the negative of acceleration. If you are a physics student, you will understand better. So, deceleration is negative of acceleration. So in this case, this body, since it is moving upwards against gravity, the acceleration is taken to be negative 10 meters per second. So that is the starting point, my dear Anna. A, acceleration is equal to negative 10. And it is a constant. So we will not put t anywhere, just negative 10. A is negative 10. So that is the starting point. If A is negative 10, what is the expression for velocity? From A now we can get velocity V. V integrate. We integrate negative 10 with respect to t. If you integrate a constant, you will get the constant multiplied by the variable t. And then at the end plus c. So if you integrate negative 10, that is what we get. Therefore, the expression for velocity, my dear Anna, is negative 10t plus a constant. What is this constant now? That is the next step. How do we find the constant? The constant can be found using the information given here. If you look at the question, we are told a ball is thrown upwards with a velocity of 40 meters per second, meaning the starting velocity is 40. At time t is equal to 0, it means at t is equal to 0, velocity is 40. That is the starting point. The velocity did not start from 0. So the velocity is 40 at t is equal to 0. Therefore, we just replace t with 0 and v with 40 in order to get the value of c. Let's do that, my dear Anna. So v is 40 equals negative 10 times 0, that is 0 plus c. Therefore, c is equal to 40. Therefore, our expression for v becomes v equals negative 10t plus 40, because we have the value of c now. So that is the expression for v. So we have done Roman 1. The expression for v in terms of t is negative 10t plus 40. Negative 10t plus 40. Let's look at number 2, the expression for displacement. Height is the same as distance or displacement. And remember, to get distance or displacement, we integrate velocity. So we just integrate what we just obtained here. We integrate negative 10t plus 40. We will have negative 10t squared over 2. I hope you have not forgotten how to integrate. If you integrate t, you get t squared over 2 plus, if you integrate 40, my dear Anna, you get 40t. Then plus a constant c. If you simplify, you will get s is equal to 10 over 2 is 5, negative 5t squared plus 40t plus c. Then find the value of c. Find the value of c. How do we get c? We have not been given the displacement at t is equal to 0. If it is not given, then you will assume at that point when the object started to move, the distance covered was, because that is the starting point, the distance covered is 0. No distance was covered. Although it started with a certain velocity, but that is the starting point. That is when the object started to move. So we will assume that at t is equal to 0, at t is equal to 0, s is equal to 0. Distance covered is 0. Therefore, replace s with 0, t with 0. So 0 is equal to, the whole of this becomes 0 plus 0 plus c. Therefore, c is equal to, this one gives us the value of c is 0. Therefore, s is equal to minus 5t squared plus 40t plus 0. You don't need to write plus 0 because c is equal to 0. So that is the expression for s, my dear. S is equal to minus 5t squared plus 40t. S is equal to minus 5t squared plus 40t. We have done part A. Let's go to part B, my dear. Find the velocity and height after 2 seconds. You can do it here. Find the velocity and height after 2 seconds. Let's start with the velocity. We already have the expression for velocity. Velocity is negative 10t plus 40. So it's very simple. Time is 2 seconds. So you just replace t with 2 to get the velocity. That's all. So we replace t with 2. We'll have negative 10 times 2 plus 40. That gives us negative 20 plus 40, which is 20. Negative 20 plus 40 is positive 20. This is velocity, meters per second. So the answer to that, velocity is 20 meters per second. What about height? Height, we have expression for s here. So we use this expression for s to get the height. S is given as minus 5t squared plus 40t. Again, we replace t with 2 seconds. So we'll have s is equal to minus 2 t squared, that is 2 squared is 4. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20 plus 40 times t, that is 40 times 2, 80. So we have negative 80 plus 20, sorry, negative 20 plus 80, which is the same as 80 minus 20, 60. So s is equal to 60. So the answer is 60 meters. The displacement is 6 meters, or the height. The height after 2 seconds will be 60 meters. Let's look at part C, the last one. Let's look at part C. Find the maximum height attained by the ball. Find the maximum height attained by the ball. Maximum height. Maximum height is attained when ds dt is 0 or velocity is 0. We discussed that in the topic of differentiation. So that's important. Maximum height is attained when ds dt is 0. When that height, derivative of that height is 0. And remember, derivative of height is v. So maximum height is when v is 0. Even in practically, if you throw an object upwards, it will reach maximum height when the velocity is 0. It will, as it moves up, the velocity keeps on reducing until it at a certain point, velocity is 0. Then it starts to move back. That is the maximum height. So, and we have the expression for v. We have the expression for v, which is v is equal to negative 10t plus 4. We have obtained expression for v, negative 10t plus 40. Negative 10t plus 40. And this now is equated to 0 because we must find the time first. At what time does the body reach that maximum height? Before we find the height, we find the time. At what time the body reached that maximum height? So we solve this equation now. Negative 10t plus 40 is equal to 0. If you solve that, you'll get negative 10t is equal to negative 40. Negative and negative cancels by 10 by 10, so t is equal to 4. So the maximum height is obtained at t is equal to 4. Meaning, after that body is thrown upwards, after 4 seconds, that is when the maximum height is obtained. And we already have the expression for height. S is equal to minus 5t squared plus 40t. So the question is find the maximum height. And we have the expression for height. And we know at what time that maximum height is attained. It is after 4 seconds. So you just replace here t with 4. So we will have S is equal to, replace here with 4. 4 squared is 16. 16 times negative 5 will be negative 80. Plus 40 times t. Remember t is 4. 40 times 4. 40 times 4 is 160. So negative 80 plus 160 is 80. Negative 80 plus 160 is 80. So the maximum height attained by that object or that ball is 80 meters. The maximum height attained is 80 meters. So my dear learner, I am going to stop there. We have finished the topic integration. I hope you've learned something. So we will stop there. Maybe next time we will start a new topic. I just want to give you advice. You need to do practice. You need to do practice. I have given you 2 examples. You need to look for more examples, more exercise. The more you do practice, the more you will understand. If you don't practice in mathematics, you may not grasp that concept. It's very important that you do more practice. Look for more exercises and do practice. Especially integration and differentiation. It is sometimes students tend to confuse. Because if you are given velocity and you are looking for acceleration, are we supposed to integrate? Are we supposed to differentiate? Sometimes it brings confusion. But when you do practice, the more you practice, the more you become perfect. Remember, people say practice makes perfect. So until next time when we meet, bye-bye.